He's very affectionate with me. He's kind of a one-woman dog. We adopted Charlie from Underdog Rescue. We had him for about 2 weeks, and I was out of town for work, and my husband took him on a walk. And we only had a collar on him because I didn't know we were supposed to have a harness, all those kinds of things. A school bus came by, scared him. Another car came by right away afterwards, and he backed out of his collar, and he was gone. He ended up being gone for 2.5 days. And that was it was traumatizing to be so worried about him. I hardly knew him, but I had fallen right in love with him. We found Charlie, but he's in really bad shape. He had gone into a very busy area, and he'd run into a car. Just no response to light at all. And she said, if he has another seizure, I'm really going to recommend you put him down. We just didn't know what to do.
Well, last year alone, about 5,500 dogs in Minnesota went missing. Either bolted out of their homes, jumped a fence, broke out of a harness or a leash. Those are just the ones that are reported. We bring in the underdogs from the commercial breeders when they are no longer wanted in that industry. They come with lots of baggage, some more than others. Some come with physical baggage, some come with emotional, some come with both. What we want to make sure that we do is not let that baggage get in the way of their safety. We want to make sure that we are educating people on how to keep them safe and how to let them live a life that is good with lots of human contact and human love in a good human home.
We set the gates up mainly to cordon off a certain area. So if you set it up in the doorway itself, you can actually keep your door open, meet and greet while the person is outside, a guest is outside the home. The larger ones, you could spread across a larger area, across a hallway, across a room, to keep those dogs away from trying to escape out the door. It's an overhead harness. Is one of the most reliable types of harnesses due to the fact that it's harder to slip out over the head. It can and it will happen with certain dogs. So secondly, we want to keep the martingale collar on with the harness due to the fact that the martingale collar is known as a limited slip collar. So that will help in case they do pull themselves from the actual harness, over the head harness.
Good boy, come in.
If the worst happens and they find their dog missing, a few things to do right away. Do not chase your dog. If they back out of the collar or the harness, or you drop a leash, don't kick yourself and think that you can fix it by chasing after your dog. It will only make them run faster and farther. Make signs. Draw your troops in. Rally them together to make huge signs and post them around. Because when you make signs, all of a sudden, you have hundreds of pairs of eyes looking instead of 2 sets of eyes looking.
It's the thing you don't want to hear, and you just know by voice it's not good. He had made it about 5 miles away. Someone saw him, turns out it was this gal, and he got hit, and he didn't make it. I'm in tears. My heart is just totally broken. My reason for telling you his story is simply, I don't want any of our dogs, to the best of our ability, to have that fear, because it was very clear that glimpse I saw was utter, just total fear. I don't want a dog to go through that if I can avoid it. Gus he was just a wonderful, wonderful boy. And I wanted a whole life with him. And I didn't get that.
He's not getting any better. Do you want to keep going? Within another day, he started showing a few improvements. He started eating, started moving around. I got to visit him, and then he started to improve even more. And then he finally got so he didn't need to be on the IVs and the medications, and we were able to bring him home. And he wasn't like a healed dog at that point. He was a dog with a traumatic brain injury, and it's taken a lot of months to bring him back to being kind of normal. We always keep this harness on him. When we walk him, we have this collar with the martingale where it'll tighten when he pulls. But the harness is kind of the main thing we're holding on to, and I keep it cinched to my wrist so that it can't slip out. I don't want anyone to go through what I went through. I don't want any dog to go through what Charlie went through. It was hard for him. It was traumatic for him. He didn't know what was going on. He was scared. And I would just, if one person could see this and not have them or their dog have to go through what we went through, it will be worth everything.
These dogs just want to be loved.
He's not even shaking anymore. Good boy, Charlie. Good boy.